This is INA, Issues and Answers, addressing the issues important to you and our community. And now, INA, Issues and Answers.
Hello and welcome to INA, Issues and Answers, a public affairs program of the Omaha radio stations of NRG Media. My name is Ed Thompson. Glad to have you here with us today. The subject of today's show is Avenue Scholars. It is a program that has been running here in Omaha with the purpose of making sure that the people that need to get the education they need for a brighter and more productive future. And that's what we're talking about today with Dr. Ken Bird, who is a founding president and CEO of Avenue Scholars, and Tonya Fairgood, also with Avenue Scholars. Glad to have you both with us. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Ed. I'm excited to be here and excited to tell the story of Avenue Scholars.
And let's get right into that. Where does Avenue Scholars begin? What's its genesis?
Avenue Scholars may be one of the best kept secrets in Omaha, but it was 15 years ago, actually 16 years ago, when the late Walter Scott contacted me about doing something to help young people in the Omaha area. 2006-07, a lot of statistics came out. The Omaha World Herald had produced a report on poverty. And the horrible truth of that report was Omaha showed as one of the worst places in America to be a black male. And the unemployment rate, the incarceration rate, the high school dropout rate were just horrific. Walter wanted to do something that would be productive and helpful and actually help people get to be productive back in the workforce that were at risk of falling out of that. With that said, he had an idea of scholarships and asked me to look at a national scholarship program that he might consider replicating here. And long story short, I looked at that program, came back and said, interesting program. Ken Bird, myself, wasn't real interested in being involved in it long term. As superintendent, I also saw a lot of scholarships be left on the table, not be utilized by kids. And I always saw scholarships as just access, not success. And I said I was more interested in something else. And Walter said, so what are we going to do? And from that question of what are we going to do was born Avenue Scholars. It didn't really have a great hard vision for what it was going to be. In working with Walter and then forming a small board, I had the opportunity my last few months as superintendent at Westside. I was retiring then as superintendent of the Westside Community Schools to look at programs around the country. I looked at a program in Portland funded by the Gates Foundation. I looked at a program in Los Angeles funded by Omahans, Dr. Gary Gitnick and his wife Sherna out there, and looked at a program in Denver and Kalamazoo, Michigan, and others, and came back and said, there's nothing that I think is appropriate, frankly. There's all good programs, but we need something unique. We need something that takes kids from high school to training to the workforce and bridges all those gaps in there. And essentially was given a blank page, and that was in 2008. It's evolved tremendously over time. Over that time now, from 2008-09, we've served over 3,700 students. We can get into the focus. We've gone from a 4-year, let's get everybody a 4-year degree, to redefining success around careers and jobs and community needs.
And that right there is kind of a nugget of what a lot of people are discovering, that prior to recent times, especially prior to the COVID era, get the 4-year degree and trouble is you're saddled with a load of debt, and but the trades are suffering. They don't have people that are coming into the trades. Now, my father was an electrician, went to the Air Force in the late 50s and came out of the Air Force and had a trade as an electrician for his entire career and did quite well for himself and raised up a family and did okay and lived the American dream. And I know that the trades are begging for people to join them. Electricians, masonry, things like that, plumbing.
Yeah, you're spot on, Ed. I mean, I would say for Avenue Scholars, we focus on the trades, on healthcare, on auto diesel, business, information technology, and we're now adding education. Big, high-demand career pathways. The trades are huge. My own background and my family background, I was a welder. Mm-hmm. And for person I'm involved in an accident, ended up going to work in the West Side Community Schools as a teacher aide, and 11 job titles later, I was superintendent. So career paths are really important to me, and career paths aren't always planned. Mm-hmm. Certainly mine wasn't. I was a good welder, and I'd probably have retired as a good welder. Mm-hmm. But because of that, and that certainly shapes some of my beliefs and values in the program, Avenue Scholars program. So we're trying to respond to that need in the community. As an organization, we would say we're the bridge between education and the business community. And we're serving students of hope and need. So the students we serve are all under-resourced financially. They're eligible for free and reduced lunch, Pell Grant eligibility at the post-secondary level. Our students complete our program debt-free. There's no cost to their post-secondary continuing education, and we support them into the workforce. And so it's a very unique program that bridges time, bridges high school continuing education training into the workforce. And it's people like Tonya that they're our secret sauce. It's the staff that make it work. We've had researchers look at our program and they come back, we don't have any rocket science here. We have great staff that build relationships, and the researchers say the fundamental thing missing in the lives of the young people we serve are strong relationships. Tonya Fairgood's just a master at that.
And to that, Tonya Fairgood, talk to me about an overview. Give me an overview of what Avenue Scholars essentially is, and maybe a sneak peek into the inner workings of how it proceeds.
Sure. I think an overview for me would be something like just an organization that has provided a way for a lot of students or kids that would have been left behind if Avenue Scholars did not exist. And so how we operate is we make sure that we're building those relationships. We've established that building relationships is so important. I think that motivates individuals to know that they have a support system. We have a wraparound support system, so it's people in all facets of Avenue Scholars just kind of holding kids up, holding them accountable, holding ourselves accountable, respecting the fact that they are who they are, and that we just try to grow them in their potential. So,
what is that first contact like between Avenue Scholars and a student?
Sure. I think everybody is nervous. I think our young people are nervous at first. A lot of them might not know which way they want to go. And so just really making them feel comfortable. Face-to-face meetings are very important to us. Really meeting them where they are, not making them feel bad about what they want to do, really trying to encourage them and put them in a position where they'll be successful and self-sufficient.
Yeah, I would imagine even, and there was a time not too long ago where a school system would say, well, no, you really want to get yourself a business degree or this, that, and a third and, get that 4-year degree. But some students just are not. I don't want to say it derogatorily, but I say it with positivity. They're just not college material. It's not something that they're a college system. Some kids thrive in that environment. Yeah. Other kids going to feel like they're being strangled.
Certainly. We deal with that every day. I think one of the biggest things for us is to make sure that we develop those relationships with businesses in the community that is familiar with on-the-job training and they're aware and they are able to give those on-the-job training experiences for young people that want to enter the workforce. But I think I pride myself in making sure that I find a way, whatever we do, we're going to find a way to make sure that they're successful and that they end up on the other side of this self-sufficient.
We're speaking with Dr. Ken Bird and Tonya Fairgood of Avenue Scholars, an organization that helps kids, students get set up with a career path that they might not have at first considered. Dr. Bird, let's talk a little bit about how does a student first get into participating in Avenue Scholars, and then where it goes from there once they're involved, and how it proceeds.
Avenue Scholars has been set up on a continuum, a linear basis, where we identify young people in Omaha area high schools. We're in 10 different high schools in 5 different school districts, working to identify 10th graders, sophomores, that meet our criteria. They are interested in pursuing a career that can be achieved with an associate degree or less. It could be certifications. It could be a few go from high school straight to work. We work with the counselors. I need to say that one of the very unique aspects of Avenue Scholars is we are embedded in those 10 high schools. By that I mean we have full-time staff in the high schools that the young people take an Avenue Scholars class. So it's not a before or after school program. We're part of the curriculum. And so they have that on their schedule. They come to us just like they would go to English or math or another core class. That gives us the opportunity to start building those strong relationships that Tonya referred to. So we identify them during their 10th grade year. We start full-time services. When I say full-time services, it's the classroom, the wraparound, the financial literacy, social emotional support, career exploration with them during their high school years. Their senior year, we expect them all to be in internships and part-time jobs in our community. They will have had a wealth of career experiences before they got there, whether it's boot camps, which are 4-week immersions in their selected career, or job shadowing, mock interviews. All of those things occur through the program, leading to their internships and part-time jobs during high school. The next leg is into the continuing education following high school graduation. That majority of our students go to Metro Community College. And when I say the majority, roughly 250 students a year leave Avenue Scholars, and of that, 175 will go to Metro Community College to pursue an associate degree or certification in a field in there. The others could be involved in a training program we have with QLI, Quality Living. They could get training through Fulton Homes. They could get training through a dental assistant program. We had our first, and Tonya can talk about this student at length, we had our first occupational therapy aide graduate this year. So we work with other agencies and programs outside Metro. But from high school, they go into a more intense training program that will get them into a meaningful career. Maybe an associate degree, may not be an associate degree. Some will go on after 4-year degrees, but ours is really focused on the career and redefining success around there. Once they are placed in the job of their career choice pathway, we'll support them for 6 months on the job. So it's high school, training, job, and support. Wraparound services the whole time, financial literacy support. We have student loan programs, a variety, help with housing, help with transportation, all the things that are obstacles for these young people to succeed. We try to break down those barriers.
Tonya, this is definitely an arm-in-arm sort of partnership then between Avenue Scholars and the student, and getting that set into the the path that they've chosen. As I'm looking through the information here, auto and diesel welding, and education, a lot of kids getting involved in the trades, manufacturing and engineering, business, IT, and healthcare. Now there are a lot of healthcare opportunities that don't require bachelor's or doctorate degrees, that's master's degrees. As Dr. Bird suggested, you have a student that went through MBA in occupational therapy. Let's talk about that student.
Yep. That particular student came to us through high school, went through our entire high school program, was coached then by a coach there in high school, and then came over to post-secondary. Really didn't know exactly what he wanted to do in life. And I think some of his financial barriers within the family kind of held him back a little bit from knowing exactly what to do. Once he was opened up to the different options that we offered through Avenue Scholars, he chose healthcare. He hit the ground running, started at entry-level CNA, received his med aid, went on to receive his CNA, let me explain what that is. That's a certified nursing assistant certification. And then he went on to receive his med aid and then his basic life support. Then nursing was one of his biggest tracks. We laid out some more options. Some more options kind of presented themselves throughout the year, and physical therapy came up, and that was something more of what he thought he could see himself doing. That collaboration with Clarkson College presented an opportunity for him to go in and get his physical therapy.
Now, there are partnerships with other secondary education, like MCC was Dr. Bird mentioned, but and you mentioned Clarkson College. Are there other partnerships with other secondary education?
We have those two connections with MCC and Clarkson. We do also partner with Methodist, and then we have local education centers that we collaborate with: Fulton Homes, QLI, Summit Dental, those different places. CHI is a big place for
Nebraska Medicine's coming on.
Medicine, yes.
Real strong now. The hospital area, the medical pathways have an extraordinary need, and it's our largest and most rapidly growing sector of Avenue Scholars. And we thank the Charles Lake and Family Foundation for their support in helping us do more in the healthcare side to meet the community's needs. But Tonya's work and our team in supporting these young people like Jimmy, who became a physical therapy aide, so often goes unnoticed. And they're serving hundreds of kids in the community and helping place young people in jobs in our community that they're doing a remarkable job. I'm so proud of Tonya and the whole team.
We're speaking with Dr. Ken Bird and Tonya Fairgood from Avenue Scholars on I&A. My name is Ed Thompson. Thank you again for joining us today. And as we look into the future, with paths that are available, what are some of the more emerging paths? Obviously, in the medical field, clearly in healthcare, Omaha having such a strong healthcare, I don't want to say industry, but a strong healthcare presence than most places in the Midwest, that's got to be a growth industry.
Yeah, it really is. And, Tonya's better equipped than I am, but the areas of certification that we're offering our young people, phlebotomy, you can go through
absolutely.
those.
Absolutely. I can talk about the entry level certified nursing assistants. We're producing at least, I think we've produced upward of 175 CNAs from the program over the past 5 years. And then we have phlebotomists, we have medical assistants, we have certified med aides, we have LPNs, so there's an opportunity to become a nurse as well. We have respiratory therapists that have come out, just a multitude of different things that kids have access to, and I shouldn't call them kids, I should say young people. They have access to, but the opportunity is there. We just encourage them, and we just try to make sure that we put them in the right path to get there.
And this program cuts across a great many racial and income boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. Our selection process is focused on high-risk kids, young people living below average incomes, and free and reduced lunch would be the qualifier in the school district language that we have. Our racial mix, the easiest way for me to say it is we're 24% white. So our minority-majority program, 76% of our kids are black or brown. We're just a little close to 50% male and female, a little skewed towards the male end. We'd like to get some more females in the program. Certainly working on partnerships with business and industry to include and enrich their workforces by racial diversity and by female diversity. There's a desire by, certainly in the trades, Ed, you mentioned, to get more females in the trades. There's a real interest in the transportation industry to get more females into the transportation industry. So we're able to do that. We can recruit and inform and entice young people into high-demand careers. And again, back to being the bridge between education and the business community, I think what we're really trying to do is respond to those needs in the community and what the business community is telling us. They're telling us healthcare is a big area, so we've doubled down in that. They're telling us that building trades, we got to have help. And drive around Omaha and look at the construction sites. This is going to go on for years. This isn't a short-term need. We've got to help provide those opportunities. And they're good-paying jobs. They're well-resourced. They have great benefits. They've been maligned over time that it's a lesser job. They're not lesser jobs. We're placing welders today at salaries much better than some 4-year degrees. And I'm proud of that for our kids and for our staff in doing that. Healthcare that Tonya referred to is a career ladder. So when a young person goes in as a phlebotomist with a CNA endorsement in phlebotomy, they can build that career to whatever level they want. And the hospitals or healthcare industry supports their growth. It's just remarkable what we can do if we open the door for these young people, and that's what we're trying to do. We're working with 400 today. We're working with 433 unique businesses across the Omaha area that are involved with Avenue Scholars in one way or the other, and that could be as simple as having a part-time employee, or it could be as complex as a Warner Industry that offers job shadowing and mock interviews and boot camps and internships and part-time jobs and full-time jobs. But we're proud of that, and we're always trying to recruit and build better relationships with our business community.
Now, Tonya, I'm sure that anybody listening who has ever had a blood draw knows how valued a good phlebotomist is.
Absolutely.
I mean, when they can make that stick and you don't even know it, that's a good phlebotomist.
Absolutely.
And I would wager that would be like the starting point for a lot of careers that could branch out in a whole bunch of different ways.
Certainly. I think our entry level, we really call it the certified nursing assistants, is where we enter. And then phlebotomy would be the next level up. And then they just they sprout. Once they find out that they can do it at an entry level, then we just encourage them to keep going. If they don't want to keep going, that's fine too. You can make a pretty good career out of being a certified nursing assistant or being even a phlebotomist here in Nebraska. So the encouragement is there. Like I said, the opportunity is there. We just want to make sure that we present them with as many opportunities as we can and help them get through it.
Dr. Bird, I can't imagine that a program like this comes cheap. I would imagine that you have to do an awful lot of fundraising, and then you've got a lot of generous foundations and businesses and individuals who are helping out. For the listener who is listening to us right now, is there anything that Joe or Jane listener might be able to say, this is something that is quite beneficial, and I think I'd like to be a part of that? What can they do to help out?
Certainly, Avenue Scholars is dependent on third-party funding. We're 98% funded by the generosity of this community. We have about a $5.2 million a year budget for the program, and I need to stop there and say, our students finish their training, their continuing education training at Metro or wherever, debt-free. That is covered for them too, additionally, beyond our $5.2 million. That's through the generosity of the Suzanne Walter Scott Foundation and Metro Community College we partner with. So if they go to Metro, they're going to finish a program without any debt and a job in there, which is remarkable. So on our side of the ledger, we are dependent on the support of the community. Certainly a very generous board that carries a yeoman part of that. I'd encourage folks to visit our website, look at what we do. There's a donate button there, as there are on most websites from nonprofits. But there's an email and a phone call message. Anyone can call me anytime. I'd love to talk to them about how they can support Avenue Scholars. And on the other side of that, Avenue Scholars is here to support the business community.
Certainly.
And we are always interested in seeking more and interested business partners, whether it's in healthcare or building trades, auto. We work with large and small businesses. We want to be there to help them meet their needs to make this a better community.
And Tonya, I would imagine that every once in a while you find a student that goes through Avenue Scholars, and when they come out on the other side, and you just go, wow, that's got to be pretty gratifying.
That's for certain. That's for certain. It's truly a pleasure to work with the young people that we do, just offering up the things that Avenue Scholars has to offer to young people. I think their success kind of wows them sometimes, and so it's definitely a plus for us and rewarding to see them on the other side of this.
And Dr. Bird, we have just a little bit of time left. I would imagine the future is looking pretty good.
You know, the future of Avenue Scholars is maybe beyond my fondest hopes. And I think we have a great foundation program that we've put together in the last 15 years. We've got a really strong lane of work aligned with the needs of the community here. We've been blessed with great community support, and we want to grow that support for the future. Additionally, I've been negligent in saying we've grown in Iowa. We've opened in Des Moines. We have Avenue Scholars Des Moines, funded by Mid-America Energies over there. It's doing a great job. We have Avenue Scholars Southwest Iowa, funded by the Lakin Foundation, serving more of a rural community across southwest Iowa. We have interest all over the state that we're looking at now. Avenue Scholars, selfishly, I'll say it's the right program at the right time for our community, for our state, for our country. We need better relationships between our business communities and education. We've got to be talking to each other more frequently. We have to be aligning our work in education to meet the needs of our community business leaders and business programs to build our economies. And fundamentally, that's what we're trying to do with our students of hope and need. And I'm excited about the future.
Best of luck to all involved. Dr. Ken Bird and Tonya Fairgood from Avenue Scholars, our guests today on I&A. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I hope that while listening that you were certainly enlightened as to the good things that are going on inside the Omaha Metro. So thank you again for joining us. This has been I&A, Issues and Answers, a public affairs program of the Omaha radio stations of NRG Media. My name is Ed Thompson. Thank you to our guests, and thank you for listening today. Talk to you next time on I&A.
This has been I&A. Tune in next time to I&A, Issues and Answers, an NRG Media production.